I have to preface this video by stating the fact that I seriously love and adore this game to bits. I passed it in nearly one day simply because it mesmerized me with its presentation, gameplay, and story. Okay, so Katana Zero is a 2D hack and slash. The goal of the game is simple, and it is structured in a very simple manner. You enter a room, you hack people and slash people, reflect on the morality about what you're doing as you kill hundreds of people and witness your character with no real will to live as in a world where he remembers nothing, then move on to the next room. It sounds simple enough, right? Well, I mean, yeah, that's because it is. But there is a key aspect to the gameplay of Katana Zero that I have willfully neglected up to this point. To aid in your brutal murder of hundreds, you have one very fun and very simple ability. You can slow down time. Now, what this ability effectively allows you to do is that it allows you to pull off some insanely ludicrous acts. Slowing down bullets, reflect them, slashing through enemies before they can even respond, rolling through shotgun pellets, or say running at a straight up machine gun. I don't know. Now then, naturally, any ability that manipulates time in games is always gonna be super duper broken. I mean, it's just getting more time to act and leaving your foe to the less time to counter your attacks, creating a disjointed vacuum of space to destroy someone. Pair that with fast movement speed and you have a formula for success. Now, this applies to Katana Zero as well. Now, since this is the main aspect of the game, the developers obviously had to balance the challenge somehow. Now, what was the solution? Okay, so you kill everything in one hit, and in turn, you die in one hit. It's no like health bars, nothing like that. At least 95% of the time. So you just run in, kill them, and make sure they don't blow up a bit too hard in your direction. Now, throughout this script, there's been one key word: speed. The nature of one hit, one kill, and one hit, one death, combined with the rolls and movement speed, give the players absolute control of the gameplay. You can go as fast as you wish and push the movement and killing abilities to the maximum. Now, this is not to say that it discourages a more methodic playstyle. Take this room for example. You got this, and this over here. So, any person with a single brain cell would do as follows. However, if you wanna just go, well, it'll probably take you more tries, but I mean, it's satisfying somehow. Big rooms can follow this logic as well. It's a matter of trial and error. Not in the way that a lot of games approach trial and error, which is there's gonna be something that you don't know and that is very hard to figure out in your first go, so you're gonna have to die until you understand the part of the game. It's not like that. It's simply finding the route in the room that best suits you. Now, I like games that are not constrictive in how you approach them. Some games are naturally restrictive and force you to play it slow, so I like the freedom of Katana Zero. You know what to expect in a fight, and it's just up to you and your speed and skill to win. Now, the game feels awesome. I mean, hell, you're a time-controlling assassin with a katana. I don't need to explain why that's just badass, so I won't. Pair the fast and dynamic gameplay with the neon art style and the electronic soundtrack, and you'll feel like a goddamn superhero. That's another aspect I wish to praise of the game, and that is its cohesion between all of its aspects. And as I just said, the music is a perfect accompaniment for the visual neon art style. It's like bread and butter, you know, there's no way to fuck it up. However, the same symbiosis is present in the gameplay and story as well. Let me explain. Now, the game explains in simple manners, but it does explain why this guy has the time powers that you use in the gameplay. It's not like take The Outer Worlds, for example. Good game, fun game, I liked it. But at the beginning, it just goes, okay, so you're frozen in time for a while. Now you're unfrozen, so you can have like time-stopping panels or whatever. And then it just moves on to the rest of the story. It doesn't really sideline itself, and it's not a bad thing. But in Katana Zero, they delve into that, and the root of the power is an integral part of the story that drives the characters, and some of the coolest parts of the game are you experiencing what it's like to live with that power and experiencing time difference. In essence, tripping balls. One of my favorite parts of the game where the story and the gameplay mix together beautifully is in this dialogue-based scene. Now, of course there's normally dialogue in video games, dialogue options. But the way this scene treats it is basically the following. You approach the scene and try the dialogue options until you die. Then you come back knowing a bit more than you did before and unlock more dialogue options. It's such an engaging way to mix dialogue and gameplay. More importantly, the way the game treats its overall themes of addiction and withdrawal that mark the overall pace of the game and story. It does a great job of making you feel powerful, but then you as a player quickly grow to understand how your character is just a pawn in a much bigger chessboard, and the pain of living over and over again. Okay, so speaking of the story, it is pretty damn good. Like, it stuck with me, and some scenes are just fantastic and made me get all emotional, you know? Yeah. There's a very simple and effective charm with the characters. They make you care, and then they make you cry. Best aspect of the story is how truly overpowered your character is, and he is forever powerless to prevent tragedies around him. That and how connected the story feels, from the Easter eggs of characters just chilling in the background of previous levels, to the repeating narrative beats of the story, from dialogue to the questioned sanity of the protagonist. The theme of the game, at least in my opinion, is violence, and how inhuman Zero seems to be. Everything that makes him human, from his speech to his memories, is absent. The game draws parallels constantly between Zero and other characters like V, and how, while V takes pleasure in killing, or say someone like 15 simply has a vendetta that he needs to carry out, Zero is lifeless. He doesn't care half the time about his killings. He does it out of a job, out of a necessity. There's no real attachment, no meaning, no bigger picture that he cares about. This lifelessness leads to a subversion of a game trope that I highly dislike, which is dialogue options. Now, don't get me wrong. Sometimes dialogue options are a cool way to explore and protect yourself upon the character, but half the time it's just a way to not give the character major character, if that makes any sense. So one of my favorite scenes is when Zero takes control from the player and has specific dialogue, and for once genuinely shows his humanity and how empty he is. Once you finish the game, the entire story just clicks. From the dream segments to why Zero lost his memory, to why he feels empty. I think I cried the first time I played. I mean, I'm a crybaby, so it doesn't really mean much, but you know, it still made me emotional. Now, I've been going on for let's say, Jesus Christ, about 9 minutes. I've been going off about how good this game is, and yeah, I think it's pretty great. If anything, my only real complaint about the game is how much it leaves on a cliffhanger. There's some awesome characters that barely played a role, or the bigger picture of the story that you don't really get to see. You see it all from the perspective of Zero, so you don't know much. Now, I know that this is all setting up the free DLC that is coming soon, hopefully, but damn, it just left me with unease, wanting to come back and finish the story and get to witness what becomes of the characters. Overall, what can I say? It's a masterpiece. Try it out if you haven't. And if you have, go ahead and play it again. I'm not asking.